We are now live for Metaphysical Monday. I want to welcome you in. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Now we have this little sound issue we're gonna work around that. Okay, I'm gonna introduce you and then mute out. So this is Sister Andrea, aka Dreaming Dragon, Purple Rain Weaver. Powerful name. So I want to start with that.
Um, you want to know how I got my name?
Well, I would just like to start with you, and also, who would you like to be called? Dreaming Dragon tonight,
You
or
can just call me
Purple Rain
Andrea.
Weaver?
You can call me
Okay,
Andrea.
okay,
Nobody really calls me by my spiritual name. It's mostly
okay.
it's my personal name.
Hmm.
And what it came about was when I was young in my spirituality, I realized I was dreaming, and I consider myself a dragon because when I speak, my voice is like fire. So I knew that I was living in a dream state spirituality. And then years later, I came up with Purple Rainweaver because I realized one day I'm going to wake up from this sleeping state. And I knew I was still sleeping, but I knew when I woke up, I would be Purple Rainweaver. Purple is the color of spirituality, and rain. If I could weave the rain, that's when I know I am in complete control of my spirituality. So I am awakened right now. I feel like I am awakened. I am the dreaming dragon, Purple Rainweaver, awakened.
That's really beautiful. So, what is the Weaver part? Is it like Green Weaver?
Um, if you could weave the rain in my spirituality sense, you could weave your magic. You got control of your spiritual, your purple rain, the spiritual rain. If I could weave that, I'm good, you know. And I knew at one point in my life I was not good, but right now I feel like um, she's awakening. She goes back to sleep sometimes. I ain't gonna lie, but I think all of us that are spiritual, we awaken and then we have to slumber for a while
Absolutely.
because that's just the way it works.
Yes, that's so true. So powerful. So, tell me a little bit about your culture and stuff. Like, you identify with Chicano, Native American. Also, I'm not sure. I just want to be clear. So I'm gonna let you speak and tell us who you are culturally too, and how you identify.
um, I was raised Catholic, baptized like at 2 months, put into catechism and since 5 years old, all the way to sixth grade. You know, the oldest you can get, I guess, in catechism. Actually, you could go, I think, to 18, but
Into eighth grade. Or do you go 12 digits? I thought it was eighth grade.
I went to sixth grade here in New
Okay.
Mexico. You can actually go further. I didn't do the confirmation
The
rites. I didn't do that
confirmation is
one.
eighth grade.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
but
was Catholic too.
I learned a lot from reading. I love to read, and I still questioned, was there God, because even though they're teaching you God and the Word, there wasn't no proof to me yet, and I was still a child. So at 12, me and my cousin messed around and played with the Ouija board. Found out there's indeed a spiritual world. I got away from that quick. It wasn't the right path at all. Um, then I got into mythology, reading mythology, and then I got stabbed at 17. That's probably what changed my spiritual. Well, that is most definitely the spiritual change for me completely, because I had my first spiritual awakening, questioning why did this happen to me, and most people don't get an answer, and I did, and it was like a divine connection between me and God, and I was told pretty much I was okay to go ahead and study God and all forms of God in the world. So my mission from 17 was I'm going to be a teenager again. One, because I was a mother already, and I was going to go ahead and make my mistakes because I knew that God said, I got your back on that. So I did. I messed around and went full force into that fire. So, do you want to ask a question? I'll
Yeah,
let you.
because weren't you just healing again from some type of attack recently? Or was that something that happened a while ago?
I no, I was. It was an attack, but it wasn't nothing bad. It was just
Okay.
a family member of the person had stabbed me when I was 17. That wasn't even alive 30 years ago. Just a family member angry for I don't know what reasons and came at me. But that's neither here nor there.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure because I'm like, okay, I know you've been through so much. So
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you survived that. You said it's been 30 years now.
Yes, it'll be 30 years this year. I believe in September. I don't even know the day.
And you said you were a young mom also.
Yes, I was a mom from the age of 16 and I was stabbed at 17. So she was there when I was stabbed. It happened right in front of her
Wow. Wow.
by
Yeah,
her
that's
father.
now we are going to play the video, but I also wanted to just give reverence to it is Men's Mental Health Month, and that was one of the reasons that I invited you on to speak a little bit. You were telling a story before we even get even deeper into your story, or if you want to hold that one into just what your experience has been with the importance of men's mental health and just some of the things that you may have witnessed or experienced, whether it's in family members or just in your personal life.
Um, well, since I am a domestic violence survivor, so I will talk about the men's health when it comes to um sometimes their souls are damaged. And I'm not even going to bring up the one that stabbed me. I will bring up the love of my life. Um, when he was a child, his mother was on drugs and left him on the streets of Albuquerque, New Mexico to survive. So he would, sweep the floors to get French fries or, you know, crush up salt and sell it to the Job Corps kids for, to order a pizza. And he learned how to survive. And then, coming through that, I realized when you're living a life on the streets, like I did, because I was a gang member. Um, I don't know if you can say was, am. I don't know if I still am. I never
Mhm.
left.
You
So,
know it's they say it's for life, but it's up it's up to you though.
yeah, you grow up though. But I came to realize, comes a time when you have to support a man through whatever they've been through. You can't just always be the nagging woman, or you're gonna drive them farther apart. And it was hard. I chose the hard man to love, I guess. um I don't know if you would want to ask a question.
Yeah, that does happen at times. We're on a learning curve, and depending on what our chart, sometimes that happens. How did you get involved in the game? Like, what led you to the game? Like, was it a family thing, or just you felt like that was your family, or it's just other people that you knew?
The gang life actually started with me and my daughter's father. He had left me, and I was 16 years old, the baby, and a home of my own. So my mom was watching my daughter one night, and my homegirls, Tabitha and Geneva, rest in peace. They said, "Can we party at your house?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." I had no idea what I was getting into, and happened to be two gangs, the North and the South, because the North and the South got along back then here in Roswell. It's a Our gang community is a little bit different than the bigger cities for the fact that we're small, and you could live right next door to your enemy. That's very dangerous. So it became a very dangerous situation. But they came to my house, and that's how I got involved. Partying.
Okay, so you had kind of like the little spot. We call it the kick it spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was definitely the kick-in spot for many years. Yeah.
And so you
Then
live
it
in
became a drug spot.
a drug spot. So
Yeah.
did you grow up in North Texas or New Mexico? Is that because when I seen the mountain time, I'm just now finding out about the difference in Texas. That the one time in North Texas is
Um, I'm in New Mexico. I'm in Roswell, New Mexico, where the alien
yeah.
crashed. Born and raised, yeah. And if you want to know if I've seen any crazy things in the sky, yes, I have.
Would you like to share some of your Roswell experience?
Well, for one, I seen an object in the sky. I was looking directly at it. The closer we got to it, the smaller it got until it disappeared in front of my very eyes. The other one was a shooting star that went up, not down. How does it go up, not down?
Wow.
Just,
Yeah, that's
yeah, I
deep.
was like, yeah, that was odd. No, I don't know.
So you
No
said that,
explanation.
yeah, Roswell, that's big. You got a very, I can't wait to I don't want to jump ahead, but I know you're writing a book. But I wanted to speak on also the fire. You've been doing some a lot of activist and community work. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the stuff you've been dealing with there?
Well, usually I go to bed early. And the first night that they were evacuated, my daughter, she wanted to go to Sonic, and I said, okay. It's like 9:30, and I took her, and usually I'm like, no, I'm not going out at this time. And I took her with no, I guess I can only say creator wanted me out there, because I got a phone call from a younger volunteer. Can I help him deliver pizzas to the evacuees? I had no idea what was going on, and then we figured out places to distribute these 50 pizzas that we got. And then we were learning they were coming in because they were running from the mountain, running from the fire on foot, some of them. So yeah, it was pretty bad. At one point I had heard Ruidoso was gone, but it's not. People's homes are, some of them are gonna get to go home to homes. um but that first night I went to Walmart, to see if the people wanted to take shelter in these places. They were so exhausted. It's maybe an hour and a half away. It took them like 5 hours to get here. So they were like, "Can we just sleep in this parking lot? Are we okay? Are we safe?" And I said, "You're safe. You're okay." And from that night on, we were out there feeding them, going to hotels, seeing if they needed anything. And the center where I volunteer at, got some trucks and volunteers together. I think they made like 2,000 bundles for families. I don't know if they're gonna wait to see if they need to be distributed later, because see, people jump at situations right away, and we know that the long term is gonna hit, and we're gonna have the stuff they need when it runs out. But yeah, we were scrambling.
Well, that's amazing, man. Because you were actually on my live stream, and you were like, "There was a fire," like you said it on the stream, and I'm like, "Wow, because there's always so much," and you were right there. Are you guys still accepting any type of donation, or is anything you'd like to put out there, or let the community know? Or they pretty much have everything under control?
Food Not Bombs Roswell. That's where I volunteer and feed people. The Gonzales Hope Center. I believe that there's a Facebook page. Roswell, New Mexico. I didn't think to have the information on me, but Riadoso, Mascalero, all them places have places you can look up and try to assist.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're gonna go ahead and run the video right quick, and then we're gonna come back, and I want to ask you about those 17 spiritual disciplines. This one a little bit about that. I want to run the video because, and shout out to Veronica L. Now, is that a friend of yours, or a cousin, or a sister? Because she's the one that actually brought us together. Beautiful sister.
Is the one that grabbed me and said, "This sister is new to the revolution and I'm not losing her." She's the head of the Texas chapter of Raza Unido. And she grabbed me and said, "Come, sister." And I found I honestly, I found my tribe.
Wow. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Man, she's a beautiful spirit, you know. And you got to tell me more about how do you say it? Razadito?
Raza Unido. Raza meaning race. Race united.
Race united.
Yeah. Raza is the Chicano, the Mexican American. You know, we're also we're indigenous, so a lot of people don't even realize in their own culture that we are indigenous, because of you know, colonization. Confused the shit out of a lot of people. Excuse my language. Truthfully, honestly, I didn't even know the extent till last year at 46 years old when I watched 500 Years of Indigenous Resistance by Brother Daniel Osuna. It's on YouTube. Very powerful. I feel like it should be in all the schools. But of course, you know, they will never do that.
Say it again. I'm going to write it down.
Okay. 500 Years of Indigenous Resistance by Daniel Osuna. Osuna.
Okay.
Very, very powerful. And until you know your own history, you really don't know nothing.
This is facts. You know, you gotta know who you are. Know where you've been, know where you are, and where you're going.
And I thought I knew my history, but he puts it in a very, very powerful way, and to an extent that I did not know. That I don't even know why it wasn't in history books. Well, I know why. They want that border up because they know that we are a bigger people united, and they know, you know, we come together, you know.
Well, they know who we are. Yeah. They know who we are. We have to know who we are. You know, as indigenous people.
Yes.
Plant, you know, like everybody knows. So if I have my ad in the back, we're gonna go ahead and play that video. People get a little more feel about who you are, you know. And that was a powerful song. I was in here dancing to it. So thank you for sharing that.
A Spaniard prisoner given a chance to be free as a conquistador finds himself in the so-called New World without a Spaniard woman, and among conquest subjects already perceived as subhuman. He picks and chooses an indigenous woman. He rapes her and has children. These children he does not care for as they are half human. He beats a woman when she refuses his orders. He abuses the children when he wants to and when they get in his way. And now 502 years later, the descendants of the ultimate dysfunctionalism, a blueprint for the colonized. 7 generations of cycle of illness, of people without heads, without an identity, without a direction, without an understanding, and without a connection. Torn from their mother and raped by their father, now lost in a sea of white, they begin to recover, recognize their identity and connection to these roots that run deep in the soul of our mother, 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 deep in the soul of our mother. Who am I is that question. Now I'm looking to the sky. Or is that question really why? Where do I fit? Souls have been ripped in half apart. No pulse coming from my heart. I live and yet I'm dead. To live or exist, I cut off my head in shame. Look to my blood and blame. los años de tu confusión y vives sordo y ciego en una ilusión, pero la culpa no es tuya, es de las culebras, los blancos europeos que robaron a las tierras y siguen controlando por todo el mundo. Me llaman ilegal, con esto me confundo. Recuerda, gringo, nuestras tierras nos has robado. Recuerda, gringo, nuestras tierras nos has robado. Y entonces, gringo, tú eres el gran mojado. Y entonces, gringo, tú eres el gran mojado. Mi sangre es colorada, yo soy humano. Mi sangre es colorada, yo soy humano. My blood is red, my blood is red. 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 My blood is red, steadfast, oozing from my head, emancipated from my body. It had to be shed, so I picture myself in the roses of my bed. I cannot seem to escape this color that I bled. So do you know if this will erase my path at long last? Is freedom from myself a shotgun blast? Confusion reigns in my thoughts, my head unsuspecting, while my body plots the execution of my thoughts. My head rots. My blood is red, my blood is red. My blood is red, my blood is red. My blood is red, my blood is red. My blood is red, my blood is red.
That was powerful. Thank you for sharing that with us. So, who can you tell us who is the performers on that?
Okay. Aslan Underground. Aslan Underground, excuse me. I said that so white.
All that cold
Aslan
things have to be,
Underground.
all that
But
cold things have to be in life.
and it's so bad. I have a brother named Aslan. So it's so funny that it came out that way.
It's all good, man. I like that. So, before we get into, I want to ask one question to tell the community, because this is Metaphysical Monday. Are Ouija boards real?
Yes, they are real. And if you don't know what you're doing, don't mess around with them. Don't mess with them.
Yeah, it's like a portal.
We opened the door.
Mm-hmm.
We opened a door that we couldn't shut, and I'm gonna say, sadly, like that spirit stood with my cousin for probably the majority of all her life, because she lived in that house where we started playing.
Yeah. So there wasn't a way to. How did you get away from it? Did anything follow you, or did you have to do any type of spiritual battle with that?
I was able to disconnect. I seeked God in whatever form that I knew him at the time, which was the Catholic way, because I was only 12. And I in this point in my life, I know that you can reach God in many ways, many forms. I don't believe in a religion. Like,
Right.
I mean, I believe that you can find God in religion. For some people, it is necessary. For me, it is not necessary.
I hear you on that. On that same time. Even what I'm building for myself and how my philosophies is this that is schools of thought. And you were saying, and I studied a lot of things, and I was like, wow, this sister is deep because you said you had like 17 things that you studied. I studied probably like 12 religions, but in different schools of thought, but 17. Wow. So is there any that you're more close to, or is there any common thread that you found in all of the 17 that almost like what makes us feel like religion is religion and spirituality is something different?
Okay, so when it comes to all the religions, paths, and spiritualities, you're going to find the same spiritual truths within all of them. They're there, but within them, there's a lot of extra stuff. Like, for instance, I'm gonna go there. The Bible. It was completely written with spiritual truths in there, but with methods to control you. Purposely, if you look through history, purposely put together to colonize the world. And it's so sad, it breaks my heart. But I'm not saying you can't find God in there, because there is God in there. You just got to sift through it. What rings true will ring through all faiths. And this is how I see Creator. Creator knows your heart completely. So people that have never met Christ or anything, that doesn't mean that they're damned, because your soul and what you do with yourself is what defines what God sees and Creator judges. I don't even want to say God as Creator. Great Spirit is what I like to say, but
I say great spirit too.
it comes out in different names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dark mother or great spirit. And that's the way the Native Americans refer to God as the great spirit. I know that. And I'm with you on that, Queen, because what we have to remember is it's all energy. It's a frequency, it's a consciousness, and it streams through everything. Even if there was no religions and all we have is nature, and that's the original. So just to piggyback off what you're saying, totally, we want to get more into having real experiences. So I like that. Is there anything that you like to share about any of those schools of thoughts, or just um, because we know that the Bible had a lot of things to justify, oppression and slavery. They had their own political agenda with the Bible, but it is some truths there as well. Is there any other things that you may have experienced in, your spiritual journey? Um, are you more of a mystic? Would you say even?
Today I call myself an omnist, because I feel like all I got to do is breathe to find God.
Come on, come on.
But there's some things that I do want to talk about, because one of the first things that I started studying was mythology. And I don't know if people that study Christ realize that there's some of them hidden texts that where he talks about Zeus and Aphrodite as if they walked the earth. So I believe they walk this earth because of the fact that there's writings that say so. And on that, I believe, anybody that doesn't understand Wicca or any magical things, is they have to really understand is when you're searching for something from God, let's say it be love, that's when you pray to Aphrodite. If you're going to war, then you pray for that. We don't do that no more. Because for me, it's just okay. Creator, you do it all. I don't have to go through the individual, but there are certain people that do reach the divine that way, and that's perfectly fine. I'm gonna bring up Thich. I don't even know how to say his name. Thich Nhat Hanh, because he taught me how to breathe. Breathing is one of the most important things for your spiritual being. God put the gift of love in the air, and you take your first breath when you're born, and you take your last breath when you leave. Breath is divine. So he taught me how to breathe with intention, to breathe in love, breathe out love, breathe in this, breathe out that. Um, Deepak Chopra taught me the power of mythology, and that we are living mythologies, actually. We just don't realize it. We could be written into stories of mythology for the future if you really see it that way. There's people that are mythical beings on this earth. They just have not been written about. And he taught me about addicts being seekers, the addictions being seekers.
That's
Shakti
true.
Gawain, I want to bring her up because she taught creative visualization to me before people learned about the secret, the ask and receive,
The secret.
reap and you sow. I learned that from
That's
Shakti
a lot
Gawain.
of prophetic.
And the last one I want to bring up is Yogananda, for the fact that this being was so spiritual. He knew when he was going to go, and he went. And nobody I know that was in my lifetime, or I don't even, I think he might have died before I was born, but in our timeline of this time, that was so spiritually connected. And he said something that is very interesting, because he says God is in your spine. And that's why you do yoga and all that stuff.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
recently I was about to have surgery, and I felt the energy coming through my spine, and I felt myself going through an awakening. And I've had these awakenings 3 times before. Usually it happens after trauma. This time it was happening to me when I needed to go to sleep, and I had to go travel, and I was surgery, and I was like, Lord, you know that I seek this moment all the time, that this is the what I seek. And this time I was like, I cannot awake right now. I gotta go to sleep. And I actually felt the energy going back into my spine. That was the first time that ever happened to me. So I was like, God is in your spine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to piggyback on that, and also, that's the same thing with negative forces. It ends through your spine. A lot of ways, because it's trying to stop that kundalini from rising. That's like that energy that works against us. So when you're speaking of the chakras, that spine, that's that sleeping serpent too. That's in the belly or the spine. That that awakens. So you were saying you were awakening too. So yeah, I just wanted to piggyback off. That's beautiful. What you're saying is right. We all have different ways of perception, but what you're saying about the Deepak Chopra, and did you study Khalil Gibran too?
Yes, I own two copies of the Prophet.
That's powerful. I love the prophet.
It's one of my favorite books.
Yeah,
Treasure.
man. People can
Rumi
probably
is
come
one of
out.
my favorite too.
Which one?
Are you Rumi? R-U-M-I?
Yeah, I
Rumi?
know.
Rumi. That's my
Oh, it's
favorite quote.
it's the little book, right?
Huh?
The little book. Yeah, like this little book. And I think it was. What's that? The same thing. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I had a little small companion, and it was about the drink worm and death.
You reminded me of another that a must for me is Toltec knowledge.
Right.
Okay. So Toltecs have the belief that humans dream 24 hours a day. Okay. When you're asleep at night, you're dreaming individually. When you're awake, you're dreaming collectively. They have a belief that right now we are dreaming hell. That's why there's so much going on right now. We have to change the dream of the planet, because the planet has a metabolism and it eats energy. So you have to think of your cells in your body. Each cell is an individual that thinks it's alive, and our body is like God to that cell. Well, we are cells to this planet, and the planet has a metabolism to the Toltecs. Okay, so right now what we're feeding it negativity, and it's going to eat it, and it's going to continue to eat it until we waken up and we change the dream, because it can eat positive energy, but until the light workers start rising and waking up, we're going to continue to keep dreaming this negativity, and the planet will continue to eat and it'll force people to continue to dream this negativity.
We have to break the tape.
We
That's
have to
that's why
break it. We have
people
to feed it positivity.
in my culture and all of humanity, we have tapes in our family unit that becomes the generational curses. So that's one tape to break. But then there's this collective tape. And I think it's interesting that you brought up the Toltec. So I may pull you in on the live again because we're going to revisit the Four Agreements. And I have the companion book with it. And this is what I kind of wanted to visit. And you just brought it up. So that's what we're going to start on, like either next week or the week after. So,
Oh, have you read Smoky Mirror then?
yes,
Smoky Mirror?
yes,
Oh yeah, that one's the bomb, right?
yes. And I
Yeah.
know they got the fifth agreement. We're going to just start with the four.
Okay, well I have something to say about Smoky Mirror, which gonna if there's Christians watching that, I don't know if they're gonna even go with what I'm saying here on that. The thing that Jesus said on the cross, there was no translation to what he was saying. So they made up the closest thing they could find on that side of the world. But the closest thing to what he was saying was actually Mayan. And he says something to the effect that I'm about to enter the presence, and he mentions something about the smoke or something. I don't know. It says something. I can't find it anymore online, but it's interesting. I don't know what Jesus said on the cross, because to me, Jesus wouldn't say, what did he say?
He said why did you forsake me?
Why have you forsaken me?
Yes.
Jesus knew exactly what was going on, and I don't think he was saying that. I think what he was saying is, I'm about to enter your presence, Divine One. And that's what he said. That's what he was
I
saying
got
in
children.
Mayan.
To add to I got children, and I still got the feedback. So in my phone, but I think the smoky mirror, whatever he was saying or going through, he knew he was giving up the ghost. Because it said that after he was given the vinegar and the wine or whatever, it was the giving up the ghost was going through that other side of the veil. From the subconscious to this reality to the underworld or whatever you want to call it.
Smoky Mirror realized that people were asleep, and no matter what he did was to try to awake them. He realized that there was no way to awake them, so he named himself Smoky Mirror, to remember that we're all just reflections of each other, but we can't see through the smoke.
Right. Yeah, remember that. That's into the book. Yeah. Yeah. I'm still, that's why I said I'm still outlining what I want to go over, but that's deep. And if you're interested, I know you'll be in the comments, but if you want to come up, I'll get you up when you want. But is there anything else you wanted to say or anything I left out? We talked about the things you do with community. You're writing a book. We can talk a little bit about that.
The book is going to be pretty interesting and I ain't gonna lie, it might even be dangerous to write, for the fact that I am a gang member. So some of my experiences will be some people's stories, because I was in, that was part of my life. I seen it, so still trying to figure out how to get around it without, it's going to be hard. I don't know, but it's going to
Without
be
making
interesting
it
too.
fictional,
But
you mean,
it's my spiritual journey.
can you still hear me? Oh, there
Yes.
it is. Okay, just had a
Yeah.
little delay. Yeah, so that's tricky, but maybe it just pray, give it to the spirit. It'll make room for it, you know. And so
Yeah.
so something else we share in common is our love for Frida Kahlo. What's your experience with that? How did you come into is that something you always grew up with culturally, or was there a time in life where you found Frida Kahlo?
When I was 21, I believe, I started working at the library. Lucky job, right? And I got to put up these big, huge, oversized books, and these oversized books were books. Most of them had art in them. One day, I didn't know who she was. Popped it open and seen her art, and it was just like so much pain in her art. I didn't understand her pain. And then a counselor of mine invited me to hear her story at the library. No, at the museum. At the museum. I went to the museum and I heard her story, and I didn't have any real connections to her other than she was a very small woman with a very large man. I used to be a very small woman. I'm not anymore. Yes. And she looks like my cousin. I'm my cousin that passed away. So there's going to be a chapter in my book that I'm going to call The Two Fridas, because Frida had a painting that was called The Two Fridas. So there'll be a chapter about me and my cousin that's going to be The Two Fridas, because I kind of wonder sometimes the reincarnation, does that happen? Because even though our stories are different, our love of the choice of man was kind of similar to the fact that my man, he wasn't, he could be a looker, but he was actually a big, large man. So he got to, he had what it was, charisma. He could walk into a room and my homeboys and my homegirls would go to him. And I mean, I don't know what possessed me to put up with this life, but you know, I put up with a lot, and I knew he was a little player, you know what I mean? Well, big player. I mean, come on, some of them called him pimping.
He say he not a player. He just crushed a lot. Like Big Pun. He say he just crushed a lot.
Okay, I couldn't hear you because somebody was trying to message. Say that again.
I said he not a player. He just crushed a lot. He
Oh,
just crushed a
yes,
lot like Big
yes,
Pun.
yes.
Yeah, yeah. So that
Your
was your
volume
Diego.
went lower. Your
Oh,
sound is lower.
okay. I said that was your Diego.
He was my Diego, and and also what connects me to Frida is when I got ran over, I broke my body. So she had a lot of pain because she had that accident,
You got ran over.
and I can't hear you anymore.
I said you got ran over.
I got ran over, yes.
Wow. Would you like to? How did that happen?
Oh, I can barely hear you.
No, I said how did you get ran over?
Okay, so I was really bad in my addiction, and I found myself with a very bad character. And we were on our way back from Albuquerque to Roswell, New Mexico, and there's literally no hospitals or nothing on that road, but he was beating me really badly with the bottle and telling me he was going to kill me. And for the fact that somebody did almost kill me at 17, when the speed limit changed to 40, I jumped out that truck. Wind pressure blew me under the truck, and I got ran over.
Oh my God, you're lucky to have survived. But go ahead and finish with Frida. You were
I
saying,
can't hear you anymore, sister.
okay, I'm sorry. I just said you were lucky to survive that. Blessed,
Yes.
blessed to survive that. Well, since you can't hear me, we can hear you still. So just tell me the connection with Frida. You said you wanted to share about the other connection with the accident.
Well, because she had an accident in her young life to where she was in pain for all of her life, and it left her not able to have any children. I was able to have one child, but I wanted a lot of children, and God did not give that to me. But now I know why, because I was meant to go through a lot of things that children wouldn't have been able to handle. And that whole story about getting run over in the road led to a whole I could hear you clearer, because that's going to be a whole other interesting part of my book, for the fact that I feel like I found myself in the middle of a prophecy.
Mm. And I can actually hear you fine. So it's that's I just want to be able to make sure we can definitely hear you. Now, since we are having this audio issue, we kind of had it all night, but we worked through it. Is there anything else you'd like to say or add on the bill?
No, I think that's pretty much.
Okay.
Without writing the book for you.
Right. We got to get the rest in the book, you guys. So we got to stay tuned for Miss Andrea, aka the Dreaming Dragon, Purple Rain Weaver. So happy to have you here, and just want to thank you for coming on to Metaphysical Monday. I thank you for building with the New Soul Jet Healing Community, and you're always welcome.
Okay, thank you so much. I wish I could hear you.
You look, you'll hear it in the replay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. And we're going to go ahead and close with a clip on the Metaversary. So I thank you for coming in. I know you're normally asleep, so I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much, sister. You guys.
Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and close
good
out.
Night.
Good night. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. That was amazing. So you guys, that was once again Sister Andrea, and she does come in and build with us on the Soul Jet Healing Community with a powerful story to tell. And once again, shout out to Veronica L. Andrea, aka the Dreaming Dragon, Purple Rain Weaver. Powerful. So you guys give me one moment, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna close out with a clip. Y'all give me one moment, please.
Organically, I melanate. Pineal on activate. The light we permeate. And the gods we emulate. Black boys, they exterminate. Scream, don't shoot, but the bullets resonate. Cops be trigger happy, pushing round weight. G's become kings, now checkmate. They try to keep us down, keep us in a dead state. Resilience is the only trait that help us elevate. No church, no school, didn't really educate me in this metaphysical reality I vibrate. Been invisible for a while, but still thrice great. Still hunting them dead presidents, Lorenz Tate. Won't hesitate if I'm popping that thing, I aim straight. No, I'm not a killer, but I will pop Kate. Full penetration when my rounds rotate. From Bruce to Kate, my 38 mutilate. The things I demonstrate may cause devastate. So I'm giving you milk, you're not ready for the steak. Yes, I'm still fresh, no expiration date. Shape shifting and folded my body to a figure eight. Then I gotta go purge all the drama that I ate. Biologically a woman with power to recreate, cause color back bend don't break. I learned from all my mistakes. Levitating when I step over snakes. Don't fool with a cop or a snitch or a Jake. I'm awake, don't need you to give me a fate. Gods and goddesses coming out stargates. We build pyramids, the God mind state. You crawling out the cave like Johnny come late. Pimping the people telling them it's a prime rate. But you're not up in my class, better find your primate. As the earth rotate, I'm bringing the earthquake. We running this shit, bruh. Planet of the apes. Apes. It's time to ride.
What time it is?
It's nation time. Red, black, and green is the flag I fly. With my ankh in my hand, put it up in the sky and just ride. It's time to ride.
What time it is?
It's nation time. Red, black, and green is the flag I fly. With my ankh in my hand, put it up in the sky and just ride. In this galactical ghetto, you can make it or you can flop. Conform to the system of getting the street and bop. You could be criminal, spiritual, and you can make it pop. But the thing you can't change, you can't make the game stop. Take the whole world apart and they call it a chop shop. The clock is ticking every minute, the body drop. Throw your unks up, don't wanna see you stretched out in the cot. Your body laying dead in the street, in the Glock. On red, black, and green, America's about to rot. The world is burning up like we're smoking a bowl of pot. We moving through the playgrounds, recruiting the tots. Pouring libations while we out in the trap spot. My feet on fire and water, the block is getting hot. We moving against the grain, we Jimmy and Janice Job. We elevating neighborhoods, don't think that we not. We got the gods on the team, we repping the black dot. My yacht bringing order like a triple bean got. The real trap queen, not talking no fatty wop. Banging out for justice like a killer bang shots. Never see it coming like a shady death plot. Spirits at war, holy water and peace knots. We be niggas on the bottom, but we gods on the top. We battle around the clock like we playing Xbox. Omo Goon, you can take it to black ops. You can take it to the stars, our priests of hip hop. You can take it to the ocean, rolling dice on the yacht. My pioneer's glowing, I'm lit up like a Vegas slide. I got the African powers. You know what I'm talking about? It's time to ride.
What time it is?
It's nation time. Red, black, and green is the flag I fly. With my ankh in my hand, put it up in the sky and just ride.
Ride, 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 ride.
It's time to ride.
What time it is?
It's nation time. Red, black, and green is the flag I fly. With my ankh in my hand, put it up in the sky and just ride.
Ride, 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 ride.